Have you ever found yourself frustrated with a member of your culinary team and then moved that cook and found yourself really pleasantly surprised by a dramatic increase in their performance? Stay with me to the end of this video because I'm going to share with you the exact 4 tasks that I use to identify promotability and uncover hidden potentials in your team. Hidden potential that lead to much greater impact on an operation further on down the line, so that you can identify your future leaders and develop any of the potential that's hiding in your culinary team. I implemented this exact process with Chef Derek to find hidden talent in his team and better utilize the staff that he had so he could improve his culinary program, all within the confines of his existing labor budget. If you're looking to identify hidden talent and make the most of the candidates that you have available to you, then I can help. This is what I do every day with my clients in kitchens, in hotels, in clubs, and in restaurants all over. I'd love to speak with you directly so that we can navigate and work through those problems together. Book a call below so I can support you. I believe there are 2 steps necessary to identifying talent. First, evaluating competence, which I talked about in a prior video. And secondly, identifying potential. In this video, we're going to take that second step. So these are my tests to see how people follow direction, if they follow direction, and give me an opportunity to see them in the moment
with their unique attributes and everything else that they bring to the table.
So let's get started. Some of these are probably going to sound super familiar, but I want to talk through my thought process for each one and give you a little bit of what I'm looking for when I assign particular tasks. So the first one, developing specials. I like to offer my team the opportunity to develop specials. Now, this might be something that I decidedly leave vague if I want to leave room to see who has initiative. This is the talent that I'm looking to see if somebody has, right? Do you have initiative? As long as you're able to take care of the competency and get your other work done, right? Otherwise, if you're not taking care of the work at the basic level, then it doesn't matter. Is that fair? So when I offer to develop a special, I give a timeline. So if we're looking to offer a special on Friday, I want to see that by Tuesday and try and have time to be able to see a tester, depending on how much work I've done with this particular cook, allow them to order the product in-house, discuss pricing, have all of those discussions. So part of what I do to pad myself when I offer this opportunity is I back up some timing, right? If I know I need it for Friday night, then I need it from my cook 3 days prior to that. So that way I can take care of the pieces that I need to. Maybe you need 4 days, maybe you need a week, maybe you need what you need, right? But for me, that's suitable, right? I always back up that deadline. And then I want to then walk them through the next steps of how we're gonna get that to take place for Friday night. So you have an idea, awesome, idea approved, let's bring in product, great. You have 24 hours, I wanna see a sample. I wanna see a tester, let's taste it, right? And then we can go from there and make some adjustments. I like the idea, then the next step is to see a prototype, make some tweaks, maybe see another prototype, or it goes onto the menu. These things take time, but we're talking about developing cooks, right? To me, I need to take as much time as it takes to develop a cook. It's just like having the patience to let my daughter walk. Not everybody comes with the skill set that we immediately can put into action that can make profit for us. Everybody has access to the same staff. So for me, I want to make sure that I'm building in these opportunities to build my team. And this is definitely one of those areas where you're going to see the talents of cooking from a food standpoint, from a timing standpoint, right? I just gave them a deadline. Can they meet a deadline? And I can also look at competencies on a deeper level. I can also see if there's some creativity. I can also, if I'm building a restaurant group, see potential talent for perhaps a different concept. Are they researchers? Are they developers? There's all these opportunities to see what's going on with my cooks. I've had young cooks who were really eager to create specials, and very often they're the ones who end up going and starting their own restaurant or end up as head chefs on a more accelerated path because that's just where their mind's at. That's the food part. That's developing specials. Now the next piece, looking for talent in communication, is presenting at meetings or executing a particular meeting. Does somebody have a good time standard? Can they hold people to that standard of time? And are they able to execute that meeting? Do they have the confidence to be able to present? Or is it somebody who you're trying to develop that confidence in to be able to present? This is a natural segue, right, from developing a special. Now you're going to present it to the team for pre-shift, because I think if you create it, you have the most vested interest in selling it, in making it sellable, in giving the romance. So the task is to present at the meeting. Present information, present the standard, present a dish. Now the next is writing menus or portions of menus. Now I like to look at things in a graduated sense, right? I think a menu is a big undertaking, and there's a lot of things that have to take place in order for someone to write a menu. So my brain likes to break it down into smaller, more manageable pieces, right? The menu gets broken down into sections. There's usually a cold side, there might be some hot appetizers or hors d'oeuvres or tapas, whatever. There's inevitably main courses, there might be sides, there might be desserts. Your menu looks like your menu. But on the higher level, there are inevitably smaller sections of the greater whole. Maybe it's meat dishes and fish dishes, right? That's the next step down. A more granular portion of that is a dish or two dishes. Or maybe it's a salmon dish that's always on the menu and maybe that needs some attention, right? So writing menu items allows you to guide somebody in creating a dish or a set of dishes that fit some expectations, right? It's not raw creativity. There are some parameters in place. So giving people the opportunity to write menus, phenomenal way to see people's, again, seriousness, curiosity, attention, people's ability to execute on a timeline. Because inevitably after that's done, once that gets approved, there's a series of other behaviors that take place that allow for some great chef training. Recipe writing, standard development, timing, checklists, execution sheets. Not everybody has all the time in the world to put these things together, but those are the keys to executing at a high level consistently. And I think those are also the keys that cooks need to pick up if they want to be successful as a sous chef, as an executive sous chef, and further on as they move up the chain. Which leads me to the final task, right? That's updating documentation. The documentation that needs to take place for the team to execute, at least in my opinion. Your kitchen may work differently, but I can't shoot from the hip if I'm managing 5 outlets. I need to know that there's a particular process that's going to take place so that people can execute consistently. I mean, surgeons use checklists. Doctors use checklists. Airplane pilots use checklists. I mean, if you actually pay attention during surgery, there are actually checklists in place to make sure that all of the towels are accounted for, that all of the tools are accounted for, that people have undergone the right set of steps. Why? Because somebody's life's on the line. Now, we do have a tremendous amount of responsibility in our roles as we're serving people, but lives aren't always on the line quite the same. Right? We are responsible for feeding people, and we do need to make sure that we're doing things in a clean, healthy, sanitary, safe, ideally delicious and well executed way. Why can't we use checklists? Simple stuff to make sure that as people come in, people go through step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Now, when cooks and developing junior sous chefs start to update these sheets, start to update these processes, they start to think through the bigger picture. It forces them to see things on the higher level because now they're becoming aware of all of these other pieces that are completely necessary for them to develop awareness about if they're going to be successful at the next level. But those are the 4 that really work the best for me and inevitably help me do my job. It helps me see on a faster timeline, and it helps me be deliberate in the work that I'm getting to see from the cooks that I have working for me. And that's super important. If you're looking to identify hidden talent and make the most of the candidates that are available to you, then I can help. This is what I do every day with my clients in kitchens, in hotels, clubs, and in restaurants all over. I'd love to speak with you directly so that we can navigate and work through those problems together. Book a call below so that I can support you. Identifying and developing talent within a culinary team is crucial for the success of any operation. By focusing on foundational competencies that you establish and providing opportunities for team members to showcase and hone their skills, you can cultivate a more capable and dynamic team with what you have available to you. There's a lot of time that can be spent in wishing that the industry was different and wishing that staff was available and wishing that we had access to more advanced candidates. That's not the way that the industry is currently working. If you take this structured approach, it ensures that you can identify the growth that's possible within your team. You can identify how they contribute, make sure that they're contributing more effectively to the team's overall success. Early identification of those that are looking to advance in their culinary careers and looking to master these competencies are going to seize development opportunities that you present to them. Early identification comes from just a few specific focused tasks and paying attention to the signs that exist.